Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Two Brain Cells YouTube channel. Today, I'll be doing my power rankings. At 32, we have the Falcons. The Falcons, they're rebuilding. I think their number one draft pick, Marcus Mariota, is the quarterback. Not too confident in that. Moving on to 31, we have the Bears. Young team, no talent around Justin Fields. I feel bad for the guy. He needs a lot more help. He needs everything ever if they want him to be successful. So yeah. 30 of the Seahawks. They're starting Geno Smith as their quarterback. That's rough. Defense is not very good. Receiving cores, that's the only good thing you can say about him. 28, Jacksonville. They have a young quarterback. They're throwing money at free agents who aren't worth that much money. So they're overspending for talent. I don't think Trayvon Walker was the guy at number one. I think he had other people on the board, you know, to that better Trayvon, but they took Trayvon, so we'll see how he turns out. But at 27, we have the Texans. I like Davis Mills. I like the Texans. I think Davis Mills is underrated. The team's just not very good with all these, in the late 20s. They're just not very good. Young team. They had a great draft last year. I'm very high on their draft class. They just need time to develop, and I think that Davis Mills won't be the starter there because I think they'll have a high enough draft pick where they'll draft a quarterback. Then at 26, we have the Lions. Some people will say this is high for the Lions. I think it's low, but I think it's just lack of talent. You have Jameis, the Jameson Williams, receiver that they won't have almost all year, recovering from the ACL. The defense is getting better. I love their draft class. The only problem is Jared Goff's quarterback, and Jared Goff's not a bad quarterback, but I think this is a team that needs more talent at the QB position than Jared Goff brings you. So at 25, we have the Giants. I think I'm not high on the Giants. I like their receiving core. It's all right. They can't get separation, which is a problem, but I like the coaching, uh, the coaches. I think that Daniel Jones is really just going to hold them back, and they need to get rid of him as soon as possible. At 24, we have the Commanders. I like the Commanders, but I think Carson Wentz is inconsistent, and I want to see this defense go back to where it was Chase Young's rookie year and not how it was last year. If that happens, I think this is a pretty good team. They're pushing to maybe have a playoff spot if Carson Wentz is outstanding. At 23, we have the Steelers. I think they have a rough schedule. I'm not. I don't love the Mitch being the quarterback. I think that they're. I don't think Mitch is very good. I think they're going to be very mediocre. This is low for them, but I'm not high on them. At 22, we have the Jets. The Jets, if depending on how serious when Zach Wilson will be back, I think they're going to be pretty good. The draft class was amazing. They just need Zach to take that next step, and he should. He should. And if he doesn't, he's probably never going to take that next step. At 21, we have the Browns. The Browns, I think, with Deshaun, are a top 20 team for sure, top 15 team, but they're not going to have him for 11 games, and I think they're just going to be mediocre. I think they're going to go 500. I think they're going to win some games. I think they're going to lose some games. I think Jacoby Brissett's a very decent quarterback, but I don't think he's anything special. At 20, we have the Eagles. The Eagles, I'm not high on Jalen Hurts. I don't think he's the guy. The defense is shaky. Not the upfront, but the secondary shaky. So it's just like, what are they doing there? I like the coaching staff. I just think that Jalen's not the guy. At 19, we have the Vikings. I'm high on the Vikings. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. I don't even think. I think the Packers still win, but I think that with the new head coach, the offense will not be as bad as it was because they have talent to be a very, very good offense. Defense still need work. Offense line's not so great, but it's worked for them in the past. It should be fine right now. But I'm high on Kirk Cousins. I think he's a very good quarterback. At 18, we have the Saints. The Saints, I think that their only problem is Jameis Winston is erratic, and that receiving core is not very good, and it's young. You have, who knows how Michael Thomas is going to be when he comes back. Jarvis Landry, he's solid. But Chris Olave, I'm not too sure on, really. But at 17, we have the Patriots, and it's the reason why they're so high is it's the Patriots. You just can't really count them out. I'm not huge on Mac Jones. I think the weapons aren't very good. The defense doesn't really have a secondary. So Dolphins, 16. I like the head coach. I'm sad Ryan Flores got fired. I think it's the right coach and scheme for the quarterback. I think that too. Tyreek was a huge add. My only thing with this is, can Tua take the next step? We all know he can take the next step, but it's the matter of fact, will he? So 15 Cowboys. I like the Cowboys. Very electric team, high scoring, high flying offense. Defense probably not going to be as good as it was. I think Trayvon Diggs doesn't have as good of a year. He's gonna get yeah, he's gonna get burnt a little bit more because he's a ball hawk. He goes for the ball, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that he's not very consistent on the field. So 14 Ravens. I think the Ravens are gonna be very good. I like how they're healthy. Lamar Jackson was electric. He carried the team last year when he was healthy. And the defense is finally going to be healthy. They actually have a secondary that's healthy. Running backs are healthy. So I think that they'll try to push the Bengals to maybe win it. But at 13, we have the Raiders. The Raiders don't have an offense line. The secondary is iffy. And everything else is really good, except for coaching staff. I don't think the coaching staff is going to be very good. I think it's rough in the coaching staff. And I don't know what they were doing hiring Josh McDaniels. So, by 12, we have the Cardinals. I think that they are very good to start this season, and then they trail off. But with the huge contract, Kyler got he needs to prove that they don't trail off. So, yeah. 11 49ers. I think they're a very good team. I'm very high in Trey Lance. He's gonna be up and down. Uh, quite a bit, as one first year of starting quarterback too, except for Mahomes. But everything else is very, very solid. Titans, yeah, I think the Wills, Derrick Henry follows off very soon. I think it's almost over for him. Being an elite running back, Tannehill, he's serviceable. He'll get you wins, but he'll also lose you games. And with this receiving core, it's rough. With Landry out injured on the defense, that's tough too. But I think that they're well coached, and I think the talent they do have will be good enough to give them a playoff spot. The Colts, I think Matt at 9. I think Matt Ryan is a really good fit for the team. I think that he'll be the quarterback for a couple of years until he retires. So I don't think they'll have to keep switching quarterbacks every year like they've been since Andrew Luck retired. Defense is good. Not too much you can say about the team that's negative, really. Broncos at 8. I think it really just all depends on how well if Wilson bounce backs as he did from last year, because it was a rough season for him last year. If he plays where he was before he last year, this team is pushing for the division, in my opinion. Bengals at 7. I think I don't think it was a fluke. You know what I mean? I don't they're probably not gonna go back to the Super Bowl, but I think they'll win the division and they'll be in the playoffs and they'll be hard to beat. But I think they will be beat uh, because Eli Apple is not very good. The secondary is iffy, corners wise. But at 6, we have the Chargers. The biggest problem with the Chargers is the right side of the line, right tackle. Herbert's going to be running to save his life this year. Defense, I think if they improve, uh, if they can stop the run this year, I think they'll be fine. I think they're a playoff team. Packers at 5. I think it's going to be rough to start this season trying to pinpoint that receiver, you know what I mean, that Rodgers likes. And I think the running backs are going to be very useful in the passing game. I think they'll finally give themselves the rhythm, but I think the defense will keep them alive until that happens. For the Rams, it's just very good team. Cooper Kupp's going to be good. They I think Cam Akers is back. They'll actually have a way better run game than they did last year. Defense is practically the same. I like it. Number 3, Chiefs. I think Patrick Mahomes is that type of quarterback that it doesn't matter who he has as a receiver, because he'll just find a way to make the players around him better. And that sucks being a Chargers fan. It's going to be so terrible. But I think the defense is going to drop off without, Tyrann Mathieu, the leader. I think it's going to take a little bit, like it did last year. But number 2 is Buccaneers, practically the same team coming into last year. They lost in the division round, almost won in that game versus Rams. They'll be in contentions for the Super Bowl. At the number 1 spot, we have the Bills. I am in love with this team. Josh Allen's great. Receiving card, great. I think they're the best team on paper and have the best shot of winning the Super Bowl. I don't see any flaws in this team, which is why they're my number ranked team.